What up, peeps? It's your girl, Dash. Come back to your real takes. Well, it's the time I got this reaction time. This is going to be for Disney's The Mandalorian for season 3. Now, I did watch the first two. I initially wanted to react to them, but every time I tried to, it was getting blocked. Made me a little hesitant, so I kind of laid off and didn't do season 2 as well. I just enjoyed both first two seasons, of course, getting familiar with The Mandalorian, of course, played by Pedro Pascal, all these other different characters, Ahsoka, Bo-Katan, Moff, Grief. I could name quite a bit of them, but I'm just thinking off the top of my head. So I'm just excited to see that Grogu will definitely be back with The Mandalorian. I'm excited. I so enjoyed their relationship over the course of season 1 and season 2 when he finally had to, give him back to Luke Skywalker and he left. Definitely got choked up with that. I love when he revealed his face and took off his mask because he felt a certain way about doing that. Hence Bo-Katan, that little conversation. Just everything about the first two seasons. I could truly go on, but we just want to keep this short and sweet. So I really want to definitely dive into season 3. I know most of it has already been uploaded. I think we have one more episode coming out on the 19th. So I'm going to try to get at least one, sometimes 2 episodes a week out and just try to finish up in, hopefully in the next coming weeks. So with that said, this episode is, I want to say, chapter 17, the Apostate. I hope I'm saying that name correctly. So with that said, let's go and jump into it. I'll say there's some thoughts at the end, you guys.
I swear on my name and the names of the ancestors
I swear on my name and the names of the ancestors
that I shall walk the way of the Mandalore,
that I shall walk the way of the Mandalore,
your helmet. What's worse, you did so of your own free will. You are no longer Mandalorian.
But what if the mines of Mandalore still exist?
All was destroyed in the Purge. And this relic only proves that Mandalore's entire surface has been crystallized by fusion rays.
If I visit the planet and I can bring you proof that I have bathed in the living waters beneath the mines of Mandalore, then by creed, the decree of exile will be lifted and I will be redeemed.
Welcome to Navarro, independent trade anchor and outer rim hyperlane port. Please state the purpose of...
You remember your old friend?
I heard you were back, but I didn't believe it.
Magistrate Karga.
That's High Magistrate Karga to you.
I completed my quest. You returned to me. I removed my helmet, and now I'm an apostate.
Which is all the more reason for you to stay here with us. Come on, Vane. That'll be enough of that.
Grief, Karga, my old friend.
Is there a problem here, Magistrate?
Is there a problem here? What do you think?
Did you serve me a drink?
IG-11 was destroyed on the lava river. This is just a statue.
These are his parts, are they not?
Destructed.
I need a droid I can trust to help me explore Mandalore. And he's that droid.
Mando, shoot it! Shoot it!
I don't understand. Do you speak Huttese?
Mando, he said he can't fix it.
That's no good. I need this one. This one is my friend. What if I find you the part?
No problem.
If you can get a new part, he says he can fix it.
To determine your range by looking at your fuel gauge. This is your enemy proximity warning indicator. Hang on, kid. We got pirates.
After him!
Has anyone got eyes on the Mandalorian? Not yet.
Nice.
We have a target lock on us.
Stop where you are, Mandalorian. You're outgunned.
I have no quarrel with you, Dorian Shard. Never trust a pirate. It's another planet in the Mandalorian system. And that is a Mandalorian castle. I'm here to join you.
There's nothing left to join. When I returned without the Darksaber, my forces melted away.
Where is the stolen fleet?
Making their way through the galaxy as mercenaries.
So you gave up your designs to retake Mandalore?
Your cult gave up on Mandalore long before the Purge.
I am going to Mandalore, so that I may bathe in the living waters and be forgiven for my transgressions.
That planet has been ravaged, plundered, and poisoned.
You said that the curse was a lie. Make up your mind.
If you want to go to the mines, be my guest.
And I will find out if the planet is really poisoned.
Goodbye, Dinjarin.
All right, you guys, this was a good episode to open up season 3. I so enjoyed seeing some, of course, previous cast members. Now, the way it's set up, we get to see the beginning of the episode with the armorer setting up for a ceremony where somebody's being, presented with their own helmet. But things, turn awry when we see what looks to be some monstrous crocodile who decides to show up. Now, the tribe is trying to deal with the crocodile, you see, to no avail. But then, of course, who comes to save the day? The Mandalorian and Grogu. I loved it. I like how eventually he has to pretty much, admit that he did, take off his mask. If it wasn't taken off of his own choosing, he did. You'll remember seeing in season 2, and he's now having to go into the living waters to pen for him doing that, and he shows what looks to be some sort of crystal and all that. Now, rumors have been where it's cursed, things of that nature, but he found this little piece, and he lets it be known that if he does this, will he been getting redemption. And she was like, that is the way, and he sets off to do what he needs to do. Now, we do get to see Grief again, played by Carl Weathers. I love when he comes back, And you see him explaining how he's a high magistrate, but it looks like from his conversation with Din that he's thinking he's, finally finished, what he has, had planned to do, and he can settle down and just, hopefully be of service to him, whatever. But he still has plans. He is actually there to get, I want to say, what was it called, the IG-11 that was in the previous season. He needs him to deal with the Mandalore. Mind you, when he self-destructed, you see what happened. He doesn't know of those parts, but he says let him give it a chance. He tries to do what he needs to do, but to no avail, because it decides to turn on him and tries to come for Grogu. So they have to put him down for a moment. But then, of course, he asks those little mechanics to see if they can intercede and fix it. And they're like, no. I love the little back and forth where, he's not understanding at first and Greek hasn't explained it. And eventually he figures out what he's saying. They're like, no, we can't. He's like, can you make it work without that? He's like, well, we need a piece, a particular, core piece for it to work. And he's like, okay, if I go find this piece, can you do it? Like, yeah, you get that piece, we can do what we need to do. So he's asking Grief, to watch over it. Now, mind you, in the midst of prior to that, we're dealing with some pirates, who are all about getting a drink on, but they're, like, we helped you in the past. We did this and that and the other. We want to use this space that's here. He's like, no, it is a school now. Trying to be civil, come to his office drink, but they weren't having it. And let's just say that Grief had to show, just show that muscle, and with a little bit of help from Din. So in the end, of course, there's some animosity there. He's like, hopefully he'll go and let the other people know they're not to be trifled with, But it always never turns out like that so easily, hence in this episode. I like how eventually Grogu and Din leave to head to, I want to say, part of the Mandalore system where there's a family ancestral castle where Bo-Katan is. But in the midst of that, they end up dealing with the pirates, and he had to, lay down a law. Love the scene. Action was nicely packed where they thought they had the upper hand. First there's 3, then there's another 3, but then he, was able to maneuver. They thought they had him. He had them. But I will say the leader of it, had him at first trapped for a minute, but he he just zoomed right by him. I loved it. And then you tell that person was pissed, but it's just what it is. Now, I will say the scene between Bo-Katan and Din, where she's explaining why her people left, decided to be mercenaries. They did, believe that she could do it, hence because she does not have the piece that she needed so she could be, fully in charge in regards to the Mandalore. And she's pretty much there. She's given up. And he's like, well, I'm here because I need, to get into living water. He's like, I need to know where I need to go. She's kind of explaining to him, of course, it's Kirsty. Well, you told me which one is it? Well, you can go beneath the Civic Center. So he is heading that way. And she's just like, goodbye, as if, he's not going to make it out. Whatever he's planning to do, her telling him exactly where he was to go, if he's able to do what he needs to do so he can, make this right. We'll have to see moving forward in the next episode. But this was definitely a good episode to start. I'm excited to see what is to come for the remainder of the season. So with that said, you guys comment below and let me know what you think. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next reaction. You guys take care.